it's Bailey. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing another frickin' sit down video. We're gonna get good at these, okay? Eventually, these won't be uncomfortable for you or me. So, alright. Today's video is going to just be some tips and things that I did that I definitely think helps me get into the University of Michigan, which is, you know, not an easy school to get into, but I think these tips can be applied to pretty much any school that you're trying to get into. So, yeah, let's just get right into it. Okay, so I have some things written down, so if I'm like looking down, it's because I want to keep myself on track, because these videos can get kind of long when I don't have a game plan, because I like to talk to you guys a lot. Sorry, we're friends now, okay? So, the first one is obvious. Get good grades. Something I want to say with this one is that while I did get A's in high school, like, it is also really important to take challenging classes. Like, I got B's in high school. Like, I know a lot of people have the mentality that, like, you can't get into, like, a prestigious university or, like, even think about, like, a really big university if you're not on, like, on a roll, if you're not, like, getting perfect grades all the time. And that's, like, so not true. If you go on any college tour, they're going to tell you, like, the admissions team really does take into consideration the kind of course content you have. So I think that's really important to consider, and I think a lot of people don't think about that when they're in high school. So, like, for example, my high school, like, only offered, like, 6 or 7 AP classes, and that's actually, like, not that much. A lot of high schools offer, like, every AP class you can take, or, like, every IB class you can take, whatever. Like, we didn't have any of that. We had, like 6 core ones that, like, people did, and it was common, and then, like, you had the option to take online AP classes, but it was super rare and people just don't really do that, and they kind of advise you not to do it because I think the school kind of has to pay extra for it, and it's also, like, really hard to learn that content. So, for example, my junior year I took AP Environmental Science, and that was it, and I took other normal classes because I thought an AP class was going to be, like, really super challenging for me, but then I later found out that, like, environmental science was something that really interested me and I was good at it, so it wasn't too stressful of a year. And then my senior year I took 5 AP classes. Now, this was, like, definitely unnecessary. I did not need to do that at all, but, like, not that it didn't help. It probably did help with my college decision, but, like, no one needs to take, like, all AP classes in 1 year. That's just absurd. But one of the classes I took, the reason why this was, like, manageable for me was that I took AP Art History online, which it was an online class, and our online classes at our school are a little less challenging, I'd say, like, compared to a class where you have a teacher, like, on top of you all the time. Not that an online class is easy, but it's kind of like, I knew if I just finished it, I'd be done with the class. So that's kind of what I did. I finished that class way too quick, really. I just, like, rushed through all my work and never really learned the content, and then ended up not taking the AP exam because I was getting, like, 30% on all the practice exams. So I didn't get college credit for that class or anything like that. So, yeah, just tip number 1, get good grades, but also keep in mind it's important to take challenging classes, and it's okay to get B's. Or C's even. Like, AP Chem's freaking hard, you know? I didn't even bother with that one. So if you do that, good freaking job. That's, like, amazing. Tip number 2, be involved. Like, I know everyone says this, but, like, I don't think it's taken as seriously as it should be, because literally everyone at school, like, everyone I meet at school, they casually mention, like, oh yeah, I was class president, or, like, yeah, I was in National Honor Society, blah blah blah. And, like, college, you are so not as involved as you are in high school, I think, because college is obviously a little bit more intense on the academic side. But, like, in high school, I joined every freaking club, and I don't think that's a good idea. Like, you shouldn't just join clubs so that you, like, look good on paper, even though that's totally what I was trying to do. Sorry to all of my high school advisors, but I didn't really care about math club, yet I I was president of the math club. So, you know, like things like that. It is important to be involved, and I would definitely say by like your junior or senior year, you should really strive to like have a leadership position, or if you like aren't an officer of something like that or whatever, like maybe your school doesn't do that or like doesn't have a student board or whatever, then just like hone into those like leadership skills and like really try to foster a relationship with the staff too of like whatever organization it is, and just like make yourself a role model and be able to like use that in your application that like, yes, I was a leader and blah blah blah. Like you don't have to be like, I was the president of this, this, and this. Like that's not really what you have to do. You know, like you just need to actually learn some leadership skills, because in college, like, I don't know, you're gonna like develop those skills a little bit more, but I definitely feel like student organizations in high school are really what help prepare you for that side of college, like the communication, that kind of stuff. So definitely get involved. Okay, tip number 3. So this one's gonna be along the same lines, but instead of, I like lightly mentioned sports, and so this is along the same lines. Like get involved. If you're not super athletic, like find whatever it is that you're passionate about and like really like dig into that and like make that a priority, because if you have like a like side thing that you're doing, whether it be soccer, whether it be photography, like whatever, if you can manage to like pursue school and that thing that you love, like that's gonna be a lot more valuable on an application. So all the championships or lack thereof, that kind of thing, is not really relevant. I mean, it's definitely like something you can put on the application, but I feel like more of what they care about is like you were involved, and sports show a certain level of discipline and like dedication and persistence, rather than like, they're not looking for your athleticism is basically what I'm trying to say. Like they don't care about that part of it, unless they're a coach for whatever sport. They don't really care that you won, whatever, you know, like being a student athlete is already like enough showing them that you know a certain level of time management, that kind of thing. So that's what I think goes with sports. Like it's not really too important if you won a bunch of championships or that kind of thing. Tip number 4, this one, be honest on your application. So what I'm talking about here is mostly just the essay portion of the application. So with my essay, I actually wrote like 5 different attempts at this like same topic, and so I'm just gonna read you guys, I'm gonna grab my computer real quick and read you guys what my prompt was. So the one I chose was, reflect on a time when you challenged a belief or idea. What prompted you to act, and would you make the same decision again? So I think when I first started that one, I like really, I was very surface level on that. Like I really didn't dive into that anymore. I just I really like, it wasn't well written because it wasn't really me, if that makes sense. Like I wrote an essay and it was like what I thought they wanted to hear, and then I like kept just like messing around with it a little bit, and then I eventually got to the idea of, well, maybe I should talk about like my personal beliefs and how I've always challenged like, or always how I've always like prompted a certain conversation about different beliefs and really being open to like hearing all perspectives. So that's kind of what I talked about when at first I was talking about something stupid. Like I'm trying to think of what it even was, because I deleted it afterward, which I regret now because I can't even tell you what it was, but I know it was like very surface level and just like not, you know, like you don't want to give them what you think they want to hear. They want to hear what you have to say, and I feel like they're going to be a lot more responsive to your application if you are being like real with them. Like they're people too. It's not just like a computer system going through saying like, oh yeah, like they didn't mess up their grammar here, like they can come here, you know, like they are like assessing your personality to an extent. So it is important to like be honest with them. Okay, and then step number 5, I said take it seriously but not too seriously. So I think in high school I definitely like worked hard and I definitely worked harder than I do now. And that's not to say that like U of M's an easy school to go to. Like, U of M's really hard. Like, it's not fun, and you do have to study a lot and you have to do a lot of work. But I think I've gotten to the point where now that I'm here, like, this was the goal, was to like get into a good university. Now I've like kind of burnt myself out because I've spent years like doing every club, making sure I got 100% on freaking everything, making sure I like won like whatever in gymnastics, you know, like I pushed myself to be like, I worked really hard in like everything that I could because I thought it was really important for now. And that's not to say that it's that like none of that stuff was important. It is important to like care about what you're doing. It is important to care about school, but it is also important to like step back, take time for yourself, and like really enjoy what's going on, because I think school, like high school especially, goes by really freaking fast, and like there's a lot of parts to it that I could have enjoyed more if I would have just like chilled out and like drank a glass of water, maybe done a face mask, and like hugged my dog, you know? Like I didn't need to be like making freaking Quizlets all the time. Like, yeah, they help, but to a certain extent, like it's just too much. Like, don't be extra. It's high school. Like, high school's not, it's not as crazy as a lot of people make it seem, and like you don't need to put that much pressure on yourself, or you don't need to accept that much pressure from parents or whatever it is. Like, don't let pressure like weigh you down, because like you can only do so much, and in the long run you're gonna be a lot more successful if you just like know your limits and take your time and like do it at your own pace, you know? So okay, that is it for today's video. I hope that those 5 tips were helpful. That's pretty much everything that comes to mind when I think about the specific things that like really helped me get into U of M. So hopefully this information was useful. If you like this video, please, please, please freaking like my videos. Please, please, please. I'm desperate, okay? Just freaking like my video. And subscribe maybe? I don't know. Do whatever you want to do. Thank you so much for watching. I love each and every one of you that freaking watches these. Okay, I'll see you next time with something probably way less formal or serious or structured.